Several local entrepreneurs have a few more dollars to invest in their dream of a successful business following a competition last week. Coming up, we'll have the details on how one campus group is helping future business owners bring their ideas to life.
One department on campus is taking time each month to discuss important topics with the Texas Tech community. Find out how you can be part of the discussion next.
And the Texas Tech men's basketball team is back in the win column after a successful weekend on the road. MCTV's Ryan Heller will be in with scores, highlights, and more in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Austin Seat.
And I'm Bryant Torres. Most Texas Tech students plan to graduate one day, leave campus, and get their start working at their first job.
That's right, Bryant. But for some Red Raiders, instead of working for someone else, they have hopes of starting a business and working for themselves. And last week, one campus group gave members of the Texas Tech and Lubbock community the chance to make that dream a reality. On Friday afternoon, the Texas Tech Innovation Hub hosted the finals of the annual iLaunch competition. From 3 to 5 p.m., 10 teams of entrepreneurs were given 10 minutes to pitch their idea to a panel of judges. Following the presentation, the judges were given 5 minutes to ask questions to each of the teams. At the end of the afternoon, the winning team was announced and received $10,000 to invest in their startup company. Friday's competition was only one example of how the Innovation Hub is providing opportunities for aspiring business owners.
We have 12 different programs, and embedded within them are different types of competitions for developing ideas from a very early stage to moving them through what we call acceleration. So they actually form a company, they have a minimal viable product, and they're selling to customers.
Following the presentation portion of the iLaunch competition, participants and attendees were invited to attend an entrepreneur social. During the social, PCOS Innovations LLC was announced as the winner of the 2020 iLaunch competition. For more information on the Innovation Hub and the programs they offer, visit innovationhub.ttu.edu.
Last Friday marked the first Friday of February and the first Friday of the spring semester. And from now into graduation, one campus department will also use the first Friday of each month as a chance for the campus community to come together and discuss a series of topics. Feminist First Fridays took place last week at noon in Drain Hall, room 249. The monthly event is sponsored by the Women and Gender Studies Department. During each Feminist First Friday, faculty, staff, and students are invited to stop by and hear about topics relating to feminism, past, present, and future. Each event will feature a series of speakers who will give information about a topic and then help moderate a discussion.
Today we're talking about love, and so it was called What's Love Got to Do With It? And we had two folks from the Women's Protective Services here in Lubbock and a Women and Gender Studies affiliated faculty member talking about some research with relationships.
Friday's panel of speakers included Morgan Allen and Stephen Garcia from WPS and Women and Gender Studies faculty member Dr. Dana Weiser. Feminist First Fridays will be held in March, April, and May at noon in Drain Hall, room 249. The topic for each event will be announced ahead of time through Tech Announce and social media. To follow the Women and Gender Studies Department on Facebook or Twitter, just search for the handle TTUWGS.
The outdoor area between the sub and library has traditionally been called the free speech area, giving groups both on and off campus a place to interact with the campus community. And there's one religious organization that has become a common sight for many students heading to and from class. The Catholic Student Association is one of many religious organizations associated with Texas Tech. Each week, the CSA sets up an information table for their Ask a Catholic event. Representatives from CSA show up in the free speech area 5 days a week to meet with students, answer questions about their faith, and invite students to join their group or visit the local Catholic parish. Benjamin Craddock, a member of CSA, says the event is a great opportunity for students to find a group of people with common beliefs.
My favorite part about doing this is that we get to talk to people and let them know that there's a community that cares about them. We get to talk to people about how we can live a better life and come together as a community of Red Raiders.
CSA will host the Ask a Catholic Equestrian event each weekday through the spring semester. Representatives will be out in the free speech area from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And on Thursdays and Tuesdays, they start at 12:30 p.m. and continue until nightfall. For more information on the Catholic Student Association, along with the ministers of St. Elizabeth's University Parish, visit RaiderCatholic.org.
After a weekend of mild conditions, students heading to class this morning were greeted by a gloomy day of rain and cold temperatures.
That's right, Bryant. And it looks like today's conditions are only the start of another round of winter weather moving into the South Plains. MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in studio with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, guys. Well, Texas Tech, I'm going to be honest. I thought we were done with all this winter weather that we experienced last week, especially because that was such an anomaly being so late in the season. But West Texas weather has proven us wrong once again, and we should be seeing another wintry mix coming into the area as the week goes on. All that abundant sunshine that we had this weekend will be returning to us later this week, but for right now, the clouds have rolled in. Looking over Urbanowski Park right now, we can see that it is all doom and gloom outside, and it was very rainy going to classes this morning. It was fairly bad outside. The rain was really coming down. Looking for later today, we can see that our high temperatures did climb up to 43 degrees, rainy and cold conditions again, with the wind coming from the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And for tonight, it's going to drop back down, especially as that front starts to move through, with a low of 29 degrees, wintry mix and cold conditions, and then east by southeasterly wind coming at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Now, let's talk about that wintry mix, because that is the thing everyone wants to know about. For Lubbock metropolitan area and around areas, we should be seeing some freezing rain and snow, probably more freezing rain than anything else, with most of the snow falling out by Dimmitt and Muleshoe. This is going to be a winter advisory though, so starting late tonight into early tomorrow, make sure you turn on your pipes and bring your pets inside, and check on any elderly neighbors you have just to make sure everyone is nice and warm and safe. And also, I know I say this every time, and I'm a big stickler about traffic safety. If there is ice on the roads and you are not comfortable driving in them, stay off of them. I know I'm always a big stickler about this, but it can make road conditions extremely dangerous to be driving in these things, especially if you don't have any further experience driving in those conditions. So just be safe, stay off the roads, if not for your sake, then for my own sanity. But looking at this wintry mix again, we are going to be seeing wintry mixes coming into Lubbock. Lubbock specifically is going to be experiencing rain, sleet, freezing rain, and maybe a little bit of snowfall, but for the most part it should be just wintry precipitation. All the true snow again is going to be up by Muleshoe and Dimmitt, and they will be experiencing several inches of snow, while Lubbock metropolitan area, well, it should be only expecting about 2 to 3 inches of snow. 4 to 6 up there, and even more out there out by where Aspermont is. They're going to be experiencing a bit of a mini blizzard, especially for this time of year. Bringing it back into Lubbock metropolitan area locally, we'll see that we have a 60% chance of this wintry mix for tomorrow, with a high of only 33 degrees and a low of 26, and that northeasterly wind coming at 15 to 25 miles per hour. So it is going to be very chilly that day. Remember, classes are not canceled until the university says they're canceled or your professor specifically decides to cancel. So you still have to come to classes, just make sure you bundle up and wear a jacket. For Wednesday, the sun will be returning to us with partly cloudy skies, a high of 49 and a low of 24, and a north by northwesterly wind coming at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So still chilly for that day, but at least the sun will be out warming us up, so not too bad. For Thursday, very similar conditions with a high of 50 and a low of 26 and a southerly wind coming at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. Stay safe on the roads out there, and just remember, if you don't like the cold, we should be seeing a return to form later this week. I'm Madison Hartin for MCTV Weather. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Madison. After the toughest stretch of their season so far, the Texas Tech men's basketball team is back to their winning ways as they prepare to head into the second half of the conference schedule.
MCTV's Ryan Heller joins us now in studio with a look back at the Red Raiders' most recent contest in sports. Ryan?
Thanks, Austin and Bryant. Texas Tech basketball defeated the Texas Longhorns on Saturday 62-57. The game did not start off so well, as the Red Raiders were down as many as 15 in the first half. After being stifled in the first half 31-19, the Red Raiders rallied together behind near-perfect free throw shooting and 3 key blocks by T.J. Holyfield in the end to outscore Texas 43-26 in the second half. Tonight, the Red Raiders will take on the TCU Horned Frogs here at the USA. Tip-off will be at 8 p.m. If you are unable to make it to the game, you can still watch it on ESPN2. Texas Tech women's basketball was sadly unable to join in on the victory as they fell to the Texas Longhorns 81-66. They started off very well, finishing up the first quarter up 22-16. However, Texas got a second wind after that quarter, and the Lady Raiders were unable to keep up. Brittany Brewer still had a phenomenal game with 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 blocks. Andrea Adams also had 11 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals. On Wednesday, they will be facing off against the Kansas Jayhawks here at the USA. Tip-off will be at 7 p.m. Texas Tech softball is certainly coming off strong following an NCAA tournament appearance. They've started off the season 5-0, coming out perfect in the Big EC Classic. Their most recent victory was against Montana yesterday as they came from behind to beat them 2-1 in extra innings. After a one-out home run by Montana in the 5th inning, the Red Raiders were responsive on that with a sacrifice bunt by Michaela Cochran in the 6th inning. The score would stay that way until the 10th inning, where they were able to win the game on a walk-off base hit to move to 5-0. Next, they will head out to Clearwater, Florida for the St. Pete Clearwater Elite Invitational. The Invitational will go from Thursday until Sunday, and during that time they will face South Carolina, James Madison, Georgia, Washington, and South Florida. Well, folks, Texas Tech baseball is finally here at last. Last year, they won the Big 12 regular season title and made it to the College World Series for the 4th time in 6 years, and finished the season with a 46-20 record. They come into this year ranked number 6 in the country and have many key returning stars like John McMillan, Micah Dallas, Cody Masters, and Brian Klein returning. They will start off the season on Friday against Houston Baptist. The first pitch will be at 1 p.m. If you can't make it to the game because of classes, which is understandable, classes first, you can still catch the game on FSSW. Now, for some news outside of Tech, the newly anticipated XFL kicked off this weekend, and for the first week, went pretty good. According to ABC, the XFL's debut week drew over 3.3 million viewers, and other reports say that the XFL sold more tickets before kickoff than the AAF did in its entire season. As far as the games go, they were very competitive. The DC Defenders beat the Seattle Dragons 31-19. The Tampa Bay Vipers beat the New York Guardians 23-3. The St. Louis Battlehawks defeated the Dallas Renegades 15-9. And the Houston Roughnecks defeated the LA Wildcats 37-17. Well, that's all for sports. Back to you, Austin and Bryant.
Thanks, Ryan. Driving through the streets of Lubbock, or any city or town, may not inspire many people to pull out a camera and start shooting pictures.
But for one artist with connections to the Hub City, the views we see every day lead to one of his most recent exhibitions, and you have a chance to see it in person right here on campus. Post-Capitalist Landscapes is currently on display in the Art Building's SRO Photo Gallery. The exhibit features a series of photographs taken by Manny Pope that showcase commercial buildings and spaces that are common in urban areas everywhere. The landscapes feature areas that are shared by all working classes on a daily basis. The photos capture each structure in their natural lighting and without the distraction of people in the shot. Pope is former art fellow at the Charles Adams Studio Project here in Lubbock. Pope spent time in the local area last summer before he moved to Denver. Pope's exhibition can be viewed in the Art Building from now until February 23rd. For more information on the Art Building's landmark art galleries, visit art.ttu.edu.
So, Bryant, are you ready for another round of winter weather?
I am not. As Madison stated earlier, I thought the winter weather was behind us, and the first chance I made the commute from home to class was very bad, and I'm not looking forward to it the second time.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I don't think I'm looking forward to it as well, especially with the wind that's probably about coming. But if it does snow quite a bit, you will bet I'll be outside in the park having some fun. Well, that's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.